Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality, and today is the second video for my Barbie little golden book junk journal on how to make a little golden book junk journal. I'm doing it Barbie themed this time because I was just inspired by the movie. My daughter and I went to see it and we thought it was really funny. Yeah, and so I have this little golden book that I found, and I'm doing it a pink, kind of a pink and white themed. And last time we worked on the cover, and so this is what we made. It's not complete, of course, because I'll have a tassel and I'm going to add pockets, and I'll do that later when I finish up the book and add all the embellishments and things. But today what I wanted to do was show you my process of going through making the signatures and then sewing them into the cover. So the first thing you want to do is gather, after you've followed the tutorial on how to make the cover, of course, you have your cover, and then you want to gather all of your papers that you plan on putting in your little golden book junk journal. And so I have several items, and I showed this in my first video when I pulled out everything that I was going to use, but I have all of these papers here. I have a napkin that I'm going to cut apart and use in the book. I have these pink lined papers. I don't think this was in the original video because I found these later on at the Dollar Tree. I have some scrapbook paper in here. These are some workbook pages that are Barbie, and some Barbie coloring book pages. They are from these here, and then they're not vintage. I also have a couple vintage, actual vintage ones. This is the Barbie Rockers paper doll book, and I'll use the paper dolls in the book as like filling in pockets and things, but then I'll use this paint with water, a couple of these in the book. There's not many left in here, I don't think. Yeah, there's only, I don't know, a handful, 6 maybe. So I'll use 1 or 2, maybe just 1, so that if I make another, any other books, I'm going to be making at least one other one. But I did find another little golden book, this one, Barbie Cinderella, so I can actually make more of another pink themed Barbie book. But my other one, as you saw in the first video, is a vintage airline Barbie, and it's more of blues and reds and whites, so that's what that one's going to be. But I'll just make that and put in my Etsy shop, that one. So anyway, so I have this. I have, of course, the book pages from the actual little golden book. I'll use all of those in the book. And then I have some doilies here, some white hearts and pink round ones. And then I have a couple of these Wilton cake decorating books. I'm going to use one page out of it that has the Barbie cake in it, or what is like, so like this one here. I don't know if this is actually a Barbie. It doesn't really look like a Barbie, but you get what I mean. That's what they used, at least when I was a kid. My mom used a Barbie body to make the cake. So yeah, that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to pull one from one of these books and use it in here. And then I have some pink dyed paper that I did, some grid paper, regular copy paper, and some lined paper. So I have that. Here is my scrapbook paper that I'm going to use, the polka dot stripe and another lighter polka dot, and I have this heart paper. And then I do have just plain undyed graph paper, and some composition paper, or manuscript paper, I guess you'd call it. Oh, then also the other things are these Get It Girl, like little notepad thing. These pink Barbie, not Barbie, but pink little note cards with the really cute heel there. Kind of reminds me of Barbie. Then I have a Barbie card and a couple pink lunch sacks. So, alrighty. So I have all this stuff. Oh, and then tissue paper that I thought I would use within the book as well. So what I'm going to do is just going to start going through all my papers and start cutting them down. You want to determine what size you want to make your pages. So I normally make it exactly the size. If I have to cut it down, I make it the height of the book, which is 8 inches tall. You can make them all different sizes, which they end up being because sometimes your papers aren't that tall at a certain angle. And then you at least have to make them less than the width of your book. So the width of my book, since I kept that edge on there, I'm just gonna make them 6 inches wide, just so if there's anything that comes off the end, it won't be going too far out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make my width of my signatures 6 inches by 8 inches. And then if they end up being shorter or not as wide, then it doesn't really matter, because you just don't want to go outside that too much anyway. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get started. I'll just show you my process. I'll fast forward it so that it's not super long, and then we'll come back at the end and I'll show you how to sew them into the book. I'm doing 3 signatures, as I said, and this is a 2-inch spine. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. With all of our signatures put together, the next thing you need to do is use some paper clips and clip them together near the spine. So I use 4 large paper clips, and just make sure that it's tight there in the spine, or in the fold, I guess. And I just put the paper clip on each side, down on the top and the bottom of the pages, the left and the right side. So there's four paper clips on each signature, and just do that for each one. All right, there's that one. Let's turn it that way. Okay, I'm going to paper clip this on because I want to sew that. I think I'm going to put some washi tape on that just so that stays and doesn't move, even though I have a little bit of the paper clip there. Just stick some in there so it doesn't move around. There we go. Okay, so those are prepped. You could set those to the side. And what you want to do is, before you actually sew them in, go ahead and do any sewing that you want to do. It's a lot easier if you do it before it's actually sewn into the book, but you can do it. It's just easier either way. So I'm going to show you how, I'll show you how to prep your spine for 3 signatures, and show you how to sew one of the signatures in, and then I'll complete my sewing and be back. I'll complete my sewing and sew the other 2 signatures in, and when we come back, you know, they'll all be sewed in, and yeah. So anyway, okay, so what we want to do is, you need a piece of either graph paper or regular white paper, and you're going to cut a piece that is 2 inches wide by 8 inches, which is the size of the spine. So just use your paper trimmer. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to cut the little extra half block off the edge here, because it's not a full, well actually 2 of them are not full squares. This one's a little bit smaller. Cut that off. So now I have even squares, and turn it around and cut 2 inches. And then cut that down to my 8 inches. I'm going to cut the little extra off here. It's not quite a square. And then turn it around and do the 8 inches. There we go. So that is, pardon me, our spine piece. You'll need a pencil. Now what we're going to do is fold this vertically in half. Let's move that to the side. I'm going to fold it vertical all the way down. Try and make it even as possible here. Now this is going to be the middle. Well, it's going to be both middles. So you have your middle line of holes, and then you're going to fold each end into the center, each side into the center, I should say. So that gives us 3 creases. Do the other side into the center, and you're basically halving it. So now you have three folds going vertically, and then what we want to do is fold it in half the long way, or the opposite way, I guess, and fold it in half again. So that will give us 3 folds going this way. So we've got 3 this way and 3 that way. So now what you want to do is mark each of your intersections. So we're going to mark there, there, and there. There, there, and there. And the same down at the bottom here. And these are all the holes that you're going to be poking into your spine. And then when you fold it in half, you're going to be poking these holes into your signatures. So for the spine here, you're going to take the piece and line it up. Make sure you're right in the center of your spine. And you'll need 2 paper clips. I like to use the bigger ones. And you're going to paper clip this to the back, or you could use washi tape. Either way. So that and this. And if you're worried about the center moving, because there's not a paper clip there, you could use washi tape, definitely. Okay. So now you need a paper piercer. I have mine from this bead landing. It's a bead kit, just from Michael's, but you'll just need some sort of paper piercer, and you're going to poke your hole through. Now you could put like a cutting mat underneath, or one of those foam mats. I just like to hold it up and putting my fingers not where the hole is, obviously, but near the hole, so that you can hold it and poke the hole through. And you're just making there's stability there. So I'm just going to go through and poke holes in each of the spots. So it went through there, and you can see the hole through there. So I'm going to just go through and do all of those, and I'll be right back. Alright, I have all the holes in. You can see them, which is good. And now you'll take this off and fold it in half. And we're going to make the holes in our signatures. So it's pretty much the same, except you're lining the middle of it in with the middle of the middle fold into the fold of the signature. And so I'm going to go ahead and stick this right underneath my paper clips so it holds it in. Just make sure you get it lined up with the top and the bottom. And go ahead and poke all of your holes into the 3 signatures, or 1 or 2 signatures. You can do this the same for the same concept with however many signatures you want. Okay, so do this one. The middle. And that one. Okay. And you just do that for each of your signatures. Okay, so you need a piece of either embroidery thread or waxed thread or twine, which is what I'm using. And this is just the twine that you can buy from the Dollar Tree. And I cut it 3 times the size, the height of the book. So I just went 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more, because I like to be able to tie a bow, and you also need to double knot it. And I just make it, you know, a little bit longer than 3 times, just so I have enough to work with. It's easier that way. So we're taking this, I already put it through my needle. I'm using, you can use an embroidery thread needle or an embroidery needle. It just has to be a really big head, like the hole at the top, so that you can put the thread through easily. This is from a journaling kit. I'll link it down below. It's a book journaling kit. This is what it looks like. I got it off of Amazon. It has wax thread and all the tools that you need. So if you don't have anything and would like to, you know, look into it, this is what it is. And I'll have the link down below. Okay, so this is my 3rd signature. I'm going to start and put it in the back. So I'm going to go to my 3rd row. Make sure you have your book the right orientation. I'm going to go to the 3rd row, bring my signature over. I'm going to go down the center and then down the center of the 3rd row to the back of the book and pull it. You're not going to pull it all the way through. Pull the needle through, but not the thread all the way through. You got to coax it a little bit there. And then you're going to pull it through till you have just past the edge of your paper there. Leave about that much. And then you're going to pick one of the ends, either the top or the bottom, and you're going to go through that. I like to go through the spine first with my needle and then through our signature. So I'm going to pull that until this is tight on the outside. Kind of hold that piece and pull that there. You can still adjust it later, but for now it's tight there. And then we'll go in through the bottom hole, or whichever hole you went through first. Just pick the matching hole on your signature and pull it through then. So this is kind of moved, so I'm going to adjust it back Now, we have it at the bottom. We're going to go all the way up to the top. We're going to pass the middle and go to the top. And the top inner cover. And pull that through. And you're going to pull it through until this is tight. And that's tight too. Now you're just going to put it through the middle. I still like to bring it through on the cover first and then into the spine, because sometimes it just gets misaligned. It's hard to get it all the way through all those pieces. And we'll go in through this middle of our signature. You don't need the needle on here anymore, so just pull through your thread, that, pull your needle off. Now what you want to do is make sure you have one end of your thread on one side of this middle thread, and then the other side is to the left. And I've shown how to do this on previous videos. Now sometimes you get your needle and it goes through a piece of your other thread, so you want to make sure that isn't the case, and kind of pull it out. And you'll know if you've done that because it won't tighten all the way. But I think we have it good here. It's pretty tight. You just don't want your signature to be wobbling. So it's still kind of wobbly, so I'm going to try. I may still have gone through. So you kind of want to pull it. Make sure it's not. Yeah, it looks like part of my thread is through the other end. Possibly. I just maybe didn't get it quite tight enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, now it's tight. And I just want to double knot it. It's good and tight there, it doesn't move. And then I'm just going to tie a bow, and then I'll trim the long end there. Yeah, there we go. That's in there. I don't need my washi tape for that yet, or anymore actually. So we've got the first signature in. I'm going to go ahead and put my last two signatures in, and I'll be back and close out the video. Alright, it's all sewed in using the pamphlet stitch. Here's my 3 stitches here. So the first time that you do the pamphlet stitch, it's a little noodly. You just kind of have to get used to holding the book and holding the signature, but it's really not that difficult. Once you've done it a couple times, it gets easier as you go along. So yeah, there it is, my 3 signature little golden book. The next and final video will be, or actually the last video we'll do, is adding the embellishments and the tassel and finishing up the book. And then I'll do a final flip through video after that. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Follow me over on Instagram at Creative Crafticality. I need to get back into posting more regularly over there, but I really would like it if you'd follow me over there as well. Check out my Etsy shop. The link is down below, and you can follow my shop there so that you know whenever I put new things in my shop. Yeah, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality. Bye. God bless.